Hi. So in this question, they have given us two families over here, and we have to tell that the parent is either homozygous recessive or dominant or heterozygous recessive or dominant. So let's have a look at the family A first. Okay, what does it look like? You can see that this particular disease is skipping a generation. So let's make an assumption here first only that this is skipping a generation. So basically, this disease is going to be a recessive disease. And one thing you have to remember that a recessive disease will only, okay, in the recessive disease, it will only be expressed. It will only be expressed when both the parents are homozygous. When both the parents are homozygous, okay. Otherwise, you will see that in recessive, we also see carriers are also there, okay. So heterozygous people are called as carrier. It does not look like they have a disease, but they're carrying the disease. So see here, these are not having the disease, the parents, but their children have the disease. That means that these parents must have been carriers of the disease. Okay. And here, since we do not see any, crisscross inheritance, that is why we see that this is basically an autosomal disease. Okay, so here we can see that the parents are going to be carrier of this disease. So, the carrier is going to look something like this. And here also, if we're talking about the male is not having this particular disease over here, because if it had the disease, then it would have been fully shaded. Yes, so this is how the family A looks like. Okay. Now let's have a look at the family B. Now the family B, we can see that this particular disease is a dominant disease. Okay, because it is not skipping a generation. So it is a dominant disease. Now, which type of dominant is this? This is over here. Suppose if the parent, now always remember that if we are talking about the dominant disease, in this, even one allele will cause the disease. Even one allele will cause the disease. Okay, so even if one allele is there, the person is suffering. There are no carriers here. There are no carriers over here. So here in this case, we can see that the family can be, but we can see that the one's daughter over here is not carrying the disease. That means the parent have to be heterozygous. So here the female can be XA, X, and the male has to be XAY. Okay, that is why we see that one of the female over here in this case is basically not infected. Okay. Okay, so here this looks like that this case is of a heterozygous dominant, and here this case is of a heterozygous recessive. Okay, now let's have a look at the options. In family A, both the parents are homozygous recessive. No, we just found out they are heterozygous recessive. In family B, both the parents are homozygous dominant. No, they are heterozygous dominant. Option 3, in family B, both the parents are heterozygous recessive. Okay, that is also not the case. We see they are heterozygous dominant. In option 4, we see in family A, both the parents are heterozygous recessive. Absolutely correct. That is why we see that some of the sons and daughters don't have the disease. So option 4 is going to be the correct option for this question.